These locks put me in a whole nother world. This is my hair in its natural state, just washed with the little bit of relaxer, or probably in some people's estimation, a lot of bit of relaxer left on the end. And then that's the blow dried version. And then that's me beginning to separate part braid to prepare to install the locks. To keep the process from being too much of a bore, I did go ahead and begin. Here you can see my braid and the lock is already installed. Several are already installed in the front. And here I'm showing you that the lock has a very tight loop. It's a very, very tight loop. And that actually made the installation process extremely tedious, I have to admit. You could eventually slide some of the lock down and expose a little more of the loop, but I will tell you that that made the process a whole lot longer. As you can see, the lock itself is beautiful, perfectly distressed with the perfect amount of tendrils or curly pieces attached. So I had no problem with the look of the lock. I just really wished that the loop had been a little more cooperative. But I have to say that I did already read plenty of reviews saying that the lock was hard, not the lock, but the loop was very, very hard to work with. So as you can see there, I am really trying to get that lock through the loop. And eventually I kind of got into a groove to where it got a little bit easier, but it never really got extremely easy, unfortunately. Throughout this demonstration, you'll be able to see that I did the lock installation a few different ways. One was to crochet the lock into my hair and then wrap from that point at the base. And then I used two other methods that you'll see further along into the video. Basically, I tried doing the different techniques just to see which one would be quicker, which one would help me to be able to access the loop a little bit better. Spoiler alert, I loved the results, but I am going to try to see if I can find hair of just the same quality and the same beauty, but hopefully with a better loop. As I've already stated, I did begin to do various different techniques as I was trying to get my groove and decide which worked best. In the back, I actually did a regular, I guess what one would call a regular crochet method, where the area where I'm working on now is cornrowed horizontally. And then I just began to crochet the lock in a normal crochet way that we do when we add our crochet braids, locks, twists, and things like that. But spoiler alert again, I'll let you know that I did end up changing that, and I ended up making them all individuals. The locks sell themselves. They are absolutely beautiful. They are synthetic with the human hair curls. You're seeing the products that I'm using there. I also use the Afro Kinky hair to do the wrapping. There's my go-to, my vitamin E that has helped my hair grow healthy and strong over the past 5 months. Now you are getting a close-up. This is the area, the time when you're really seeing up close and personal one of the techniques. Like I said, I did 3, but I do believe that this one was probably the easiest to follow and probably the most secure and probably the best of the methods that I used. And that's why I am showing a very close look at it, so that if anyone wants to emulate or imitate the technique, they can see it up close and personal. From here, I will just let you watch because it really is very self-explanatory and it is very simple. But due to that extremely tight lock, it's just very time consuming. I've actually sped the video up a little bit to keep from boring everyone to absolute tears. So believe it or not, that is the video sped up. But I'm just going to let you watch and take in the method that worked probably best for me as I did these locks. And by the way, I did 38 locks. Still very self-explanatory, but just showing you a close-up view of the Afro Kinky hair by Outre or Outre, depending on how you pronounce it. It is what I use to wrap my locks depending on, well, not depending. It's actually, as of late, what I've used to wrap all of my locks, whether they are the Toshiana wavy locks or whether they're locks like this, or anytime there's any wrapping involved, that's what I use. That's my go-to wrapping hair. I don't have to glue it. I don't have to burn it. I literally stretch it. It becomes warm and it's like it glues to itself. But at the same time, it doesn't glue so tightly that it's impossible to remove. If you've seen any of the crochet braid gurus, you know that you have to lift the little curly human hair pieces out of the way. Sometimes your lips are the best tool that you have at your disposal at that time, so don't judge me. At this point, I'm taking inventory of how much longer I'm going to be here. Let me say a word about the color. These are not my hair color. They're actually natural brown or either natural black. And I usually get a number 4. Well, the wrapping hair by Outre that I used is actually a number 4. And it blended perfectly fine with the natural black or natural brown or whatever you want to call it. I usually don't wear hair that dark because my natural hair being 4 actually does have a little bit of 30 and 27 in it just naturally. My mom was born a blonde, so I have a little bit of natural highlights, but it worked out perfectly fine. It doesn't look crazy. It looks really good with my hair, even though there's a little bit of gold and orange and brown poking through here and there. So here I am, completely finished. I love it. My eyelash is falling off, but I wasn't going to re-record because I loved how I was looking at that time. The light was perfect. By now I re-glued my eyelash. I am just loving everything about it. It is giving Lisa Bonet. It's giving Cree Summer. It's giving Megan Good. It's giving Tisha. It's giving Lock Odyssey. I love it. It turned out really great, guys. I came up during a time when boho chic was in. It's never gone out of style for me. I'm still the same boho chic girl that I've always been. And I lived in Nashville for 10 years, and that's my cowboy hat. I love how the style turned out, guys. Please like, subscribe, and share if you liked it as well.